Okay, guys, the other day, my wife came to me and in a little bit of a panic and said, "Baby, all of our toilet tissue that we keep in the cabinet in the half bathroom is soaking wet." So I got up. She had already taken the toilet paper rolls out. I got up and went into our half bath to investigate, and discovered that the trap below the half bath sink had actually broken. And I'm gonna see if I can see if I can get in there, doggone it. And we're gonna take a look at today. We're gonna take a look at how to replace that. So just to show you what's going on, if I can. I'm a pretty big guy and a pretty old guy, and there's a lot going on in this little teeny bathroom here, but you can see that particular joint right there. Let's see if I can hold the camera, and get you a look at it. This is where the joint broke. This piece right here actually is supposed to have a little bevel on it that goes into this trap and seals up. The bevel actually broke off. So what I'm going to do is cut this pipe right here, because the parts that I could find for this project are not exactly the same, but I can make it work, and it'll probably improve the overall installation of this particular trap. So I'm going to cut it just behind this piece right here, remove this entire trap. I'm going to reinstall a new trap using what's called a Fernco coupling. And just to give you an idea of what we're talking about here, this gadget here is a Fernco coupling. It's a rubber coupling that will allow the pipe to give as the RV is traveling down the road, which I suspect is what caused the thing to break to start with. So as you can see, the cabinet door is sticking out here and will probably be in the way. So that's going to be my first step, is to remove the cabinet door. Now, I've told you before that if you're in a camper of any kind, the most used tool that you're gonna need in your toolbox is a number 2 square head. I don't know if you can see that or not, but just about every doggone screw that's in the camper is going to be a number 2 square head. So I'm going to try to, you know what? I'm not going to try to hold this. I'm going to do what smart people do. And I'm going to put you on a tripod, and we'll go from there. My dogs are outside barking at everything that goes by again. As usual, you know I can't shoot a YouTube video without my dogs participating. So let's see, hopefully we'll get you where you can see what's going on. Oh boy. All right, hopefully you can see that. All right, so first thing we're going to do is remove this door so we can have an unobstructed work area. Well, limitedly unobstructed. Let's see, take one out down here. If you don't have one of these, man, what a time saver. Of course, you still got to be able to see the screw. Which apparently I'm not seeing. There you go. All right, so we'll move this over to the side here, where it's out of our way, and we'll get our products out of the way. Give Matt a free commercial. Liquefied seems to work pretty good. I think this is what we were using before. That worked all right too, I guess. Though, and this little bit of bleach there. All right. So what I'm going to do is, this should be able to be done completely by hand without the use of any tools at all, I'm hoping. And, well, not without any tools at all, because I'm going to use a PVC cutter in order to cut that piece of pipe. And since the sink drain is in my hand, I don't want to pour that in the sink, so we'll pour that in the toilet. See, stuff is still a little wet down there. All right, let's see. Okay, now, so as I'm doing this, I'm gonna try to talk you through it. And the piece that I'm working on right now is the top of the trap, and that connects to what's called a tailpiece. And the tailpiece is the part that comes out of the sink itself and sticks straight down. And it uses a beveled washer like that in order to slide up on the tailpiece. You put the nut on there first, then this piece slides on the tailpiece, and then that bevel goes down inside of this piece like that, and this nut then tightens down on top of it. And as it tightens down on top of this beveled washer and pushes down on it, that causes that beveled washer to slightly contract and tighten up on the tailpiece itself. And then, of course, the other side of this is where it connects into the piece that's broken. So I'm going to take this PVC cutter and see if I can't. This is not PVC. This is ABS, but it's plastic and it'll cut it, I'm sure. Let me find out where I put my flashlight, so I can get a little light and make sure I'm cutting the right spot. I don't want to cut any more off than I have to. And I said it was going to work, but looks like I might be exercising the maximum ability of this thing. Oh boy, it's a ratcheting tool, and it just kind of squeezes its way through. But you got to have a pretty good grip to use it, I'll tell you that. I'm getting there. Oh goodness, it got awful hard to squeeze there for some reason. My mercy. This angle is very difficult to work with. Well, fear not, because if this don't work, I've got other tools. But I'm really surprised that this is not working. And I'm pretty sure it's because I cannot get enough of a grip, I think. Or it might be that no, it's that it's cutting crooked, and I think I'm going back into the thick part of that fitting there. So because Here come the Philippine connection.
Kaya ako lang siya iiwan. Pero kung hindi niya ako pinapili, kahit siguro pinatulan niya si Bob, pinapili niya.
There we go.
Mamili ka, ako, mga anak mo.
No, I think there we go.
Papiliin mo lang sa lahat, mga anak ko. Kahit to, si Tanda. Kung kami nagkaayos sa mga anak ko, sinabi niya sa akin, mami, sa amin daw mo.
Oh my goodness.
Gagawin mo. Kasi hindi nila ako
Alright.
talagang ganito sa akin. Gusto nila ako talaga pero yung may pakikita na yung papel sa kanila na o ito, di ba nila ako.
Try to reposition this.
Eh hindi naman ganun kadali ang pakikipag-iwalay talaga. Kami ni Pagda ni Song nagkahiwalay kami 2 taon.
And there we go. Alright.
Kung si Tanda ay pababayaan ko, na ayan, maghihiwalay kami. Tapos aalis si Tanda.
So that will take care of that. Now,
Ano, matulog ako sa kotse.
what I'm going to do, I neglected to bring one tool in that I'm going to need, but that's all right. I'm going to go ahead and get it all put together for y'all, and then I will bring a 5/16 nut driver back in here and tighten up the two screws that hold everything together. All right, so I got stuff raining all over the floor here. All right, so this piece right here, this is called a wall piece. This is actually the part that comes off of the other side of the trap. So what we're going to do is put, let's see, this nut will go on the outside of that piece thusly, and then that this looks like it's see how they intended this to go. All right, there's a small there it is, hiding on me. All right, so we're gonna put this piece right here on this little flange like that, and then that piece will fit in here like that, and I'm going to leave these loose because I'm going to be turning them. All right, and this is the piece. Actually, this particular kit comes with 2 of these, one for 1.25 inches and one for 1.5 inches. I have the 1.25 inch tail piece, so I'm gonna put this, almost put the cart ahead of the horse. I got to put this piece, make sure I got the right one. Yeah, I got to put this piece on the tail piece first. Then this piece goes on the tail piece. All right, so you end up with, let's put a little light on the subject there. You end up with that right there. So that should then tighten down without coming across. It looks like there's an awful big gap in there, but it should still work. And then we're going to put this piece, I don't know if you can see it or not, yeah, we're going to put this piece right up there like that, and we're going to raise it up to the point where it's about right with this piece, which is will move in and out somewhat, but the height of it has to be precise. So, well, not precise, but reasonably close, because there will be some play in the Fernco coupling. So I'm gonna set the light down here and see if I can get this together and along the same lines. Okay, now that piece is actually tightened up, which I just did that because I don't want it to go up and down. So I tightened it up to where it's tight enough to sit in place. We're just about right as far as height. I'm gonna have to lower it down a little bit though, so I'm gonna have to wiggle it a little bit. That should be pretty close. And then it looks like if I cut this piece about where I have my hand, cut this piece right here. Might be time for a new blade in my PVC cutter, because that thing does not want to cut that ABS at all. There we go. Okay. All right. So that'll give me this piece here, which I'm going to put the Fernco coupling on. And it looks like I might have to. Okay, we'll do it. This side looks a little bit. Okay, let me run out and get my 5/16. Okay, 5/16 nut driver in hand. We're going to set our pieces down here for a second. That's the beauty of this little gadget. I can just change bits, because not everything that you're going to use is a number 2 square head, but just the majority of them. And we're going to take these and loosen them up a little bit. Then we're going to put this on here. And that is on there sufficiently. And then we'll tighten this piece up. Okay. That should leave this piece to go on the other. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the bottom of this piece with the nut. I'm going to reattach that, because this piece right here will swivel. Well, once I loosen up this bolt right there, that'll move out of the way. This piece will then go on top of there, and that way I can turn this as the other piece slides together back here, and that should allow me to get everything nice and snug. The problem is can't hold a flashlight because I need 2 hands to do this. But you can see what I'm going to do is put that Fernco coupling on that other piece of pipe that's in the back there, and then I'm going to turn this trap to a point where it's going to push back on that. So I'm going to have to turn the flashlight off. Y'all are going to have to trust that I'm doing it, because and I'm going to have to trust I'm doing it, because I ain't going to be able to see it either. So it's going to be one of the, oh, you know what? That definitely does not feel like, what in the world? That don't feel like 1.5-inch pipe. Do a little test here, because I don't know, that is definitely not going to fit there. Huh. I don't know what size that is, but This is all 1.25 inches, and this is supposed to fit 1.5 inches or 1.25 inches, but it does not fit that piece of pipe. Okay, so I guess I'm going to have to make another run back to Lowe's. That's all right though. Some of my favorite YouTube channels have become famous running back and forth to Lowe's and Home Depot, so of course I'm not going to take the camera with me. Y'all are just going to have to trust that I go there and get the right thing. So I will do that now and get back with y'all very soon. So stick with me. Okay, I'm back with what I hope is the right piece this time. So we got two different sizes here. We're going to put that one on the one side and tighten that up. Let's loosen that a little bit just to make sure we got enough space on there. Giving y'all a whole new perspective here, just kicking you around. Let's see if I can get this put back together now. Got all my pieces on there. Yep. Okay. All right, that's lined up there. All right. Bad part about it is I can't tell if it's all the way on there or not. Let's see. Let's take that piece right there loose right now. Move that out of the way. Twist that a little bit. Now I'm thinking that should be right. Hey. Hopefully I got it in there square so it'll fit in this right. What in the world is going on here? This doesn't seem to be. It should be just tightening up. But every time it gets tight, it jumps like that nut is broken or something. All right. Let me try a little. Let's take that off. Oh no. Well, I got more nuts down here. Hopefully they're the right size, but okay, and that one fits on there. But I'll show you what I'm doing here. I just took the nut off at the top and tried it on the bottom to see if that one did the same thing that the other nuts do. It did not. And when I tighten it up at the top, it pushes that piece right through, but it does tighten up. So it's a good possibility that that nut is actually broken right out of the bag. So I'm going to have to take that off. Doesn't seem to be, but it surely does not want to go down on here like it's supposed to. All right, now all of a sudden it wants to work. So go figure. All right, so put this back. Where'd it go? Oh. Put this nut and this tapered washer back on the tailpiece. Insert this back into that that Fernco coupling. Okay. Now it's doing the damn same thing again. What is going on with that thing? Not cool. I don't know. Try not to tighten it up quite so tight. It's not even sitting under there straight at all. I don't know what I can do about that. Longer tailpiece, I guess. That is really annoying that thing will not grip that. Alright, I don't see no water dripping, so that's a good thing, I guess. Let's give it the ultimate test. Let's fill the sink up. fill it up, but give it enough to make a difference. Oh, leaking like a crack, leaking like a sieve. Cause whose ass didn't tighten up the the fitting again? It might work if I tighten it up. Okay. All right. No leaks. And then all I got to do is put my stuff back in here. Back in the cabinet, Matt. Bring my baby, you're pushing my camera.
I just saw something on the back.
Huh?
I didn't mean to. I just put something in the back.
Steven Spielberg never had to deal with these things. I'm assuming. Alright, I want to get my... Oh, you know what? Before I did this, I should have changed my bit back to the square head. Put them on there just loosely until I make sure I got them lined up correctly. That is lined up correctly. Put a little more bit out. Not that it's gonna make a huge difference, but might make a little bit. think it's in there. I don't know. But, alright. And that's all there is. So, hopefully, if you have a sink drain that's broken and you need to replace it, hopefully you realize, even though I didn't have all the parts on the first trip, hopefully you realize that it's not that difficult a project. Relatively simple. So got my receipt. I gotta copy over to Fetch in a minute. So alright, let me see. Throw all my trash away here. That's my second project of the day already, and it's only 12:25. So, also putting a new connector on my Cricket golf cart, and tightened up all my battery connections. So, hopefully, won't have any trouble with that. That's a preventative measure, I guess. So, at any rate, y'all, if you found this video informative, let me get myself on camera here. So if you found it to be informative, hit that like and subscribe button. Follow us along. Every once in a while I do a little project and I try to film it as best I can. A lot of times I end up in a situation where I can't really get the camera where it shows a whole lot, but hopefully when I edit this, it'll come out where we can see most of the project anyway, and hopefully I explained it enough outside of the cabinet, the parts that I was working with and what I was going to do with them, so that you got an idea as to the process. So y'all follow us along, join us on our journeys, and remember, when camping, take only photos, leave only footprints, travel safe. We'll see you next time. I am Charlie.